Hello everyone, this is Abdul Khan from Course6 Online. This is second video on microservice and service fabric, a short series of video. So this is video specifically great for creating a very small microservice application using service fabric and Visual Studio. Before we move on, you make sure you have a following prerequisites installed on your machine. Number one, install Visual Studio 2017 with Azure development and ASP.NET and web development workload. Number two, which is very important, Microservice Azure Service Fabric software development kit. You can find out on this link. It's very easy installation, nothing serious, just 2-3 minutes of installation, and will install a service fabric cluster on your machine. And number three is gate is optional if you want to add your first Microsoft application into your Git repository. So let's move on and jump into the Visual Studio. Okay, I have a Visual Studio 2017 community version installed on my machine. If you have any other version like professional or enterprise, that would be great. And the other thing is uh, sub service fabric cluster installed on your machine. So before after installation, you have to make sure that your local cluster is up and running, and the cluster mode is on one node. You can switch on 5 node, doesn't matter, but for this demo deploying my small app because it's a small app, so I'm going to deploy all the services on one node. uh, don't worry, I'm going to be explain about service fabric, cluster, nodes, everything into the next video, so don't worry about it at the moment. Just we are focusing on this creating our first application, Microsoft application on Visual Studio. So after installation of service fabric SDK, it will install some basic templates on your machine for which are ready to use. So we can going to create application now on the file, new project, and in the cloud. It will show you service fabric application. It will appear only once you install the service fabric SDK. Okay, I'm going to say my first service fabric application, microservices, hello world. Okay, click OK. So like I said that once you install the SDK, it will install some basic template like stateless service, stateful service, stateless ASP.NET Core template. It also possible like it will not show all these templates. If it's not, then you have to update your Visual Studio. So once you install Visual Studio, all the templates will appear. It's very useful. Like every you have some template like container. If you are going to create your application in some of the container, and like a stateless ASP.NET Core or stateful.NET Core. So it's very good gas executable also for your existing application. So this all templates are useful. If it's not appear, just update your Visual Studio. So let's go and create your first stateless service microservice, first stateless microservice. Okay, yes, so I'm going to give my name, say hello world stateless service, my first microservice. Okay, click OK. It takes some time to create a project and install necessary libraries and install necessary uh, what do you call packages into your application. So this is the basic structure. First one, in the under your solution, hello world solution, is your hello world application, and this is your main service. uh, so this hello world uh, project basically is your application, application model of your service fabric application. It will log all your services here for application configuration. uh, I'm not going to go in detail because my next video basically will describe you in much more detail, so I'm just leave this thing here and we're going to discuss this thing further into the next video. Okay, this is my first stateless service. I'm going to quickly create another service which is the stateful one. First I create the stateless, now I'm going to be create a stateful service. So this is my hello world stateful service. Okay, now I'm going to describe you more. Let it complete. Now it's okay. So first file is already open when you created hello world stateless.cs or hello world stateful.cs. So this is my stateful. Okay, I'll come back to the stateful later. First I'm going to describe the stateless. So stateless, this is our first file is open. First thing you need to understand, this is the file which is become a entry point of your service. So open this file hello world stateless, which is comes under the root of hello world stateless application. So this is a file in the service project. In service fabric, a service can run any business logic. The service API provides two entry points for your code. One is run asynchronous, is an open-ended entry point called run asynchronous, where you can begin executing any workloads, including long-running compute workload. And the second one is create service instance listener. So basically it's a communication entry point where you can plug in your communication stack of choice such as ASP.NET Core. This is where you can start receiving requests from user and other services. So you can see here also it's saying that optional override to create listener, e.g. TCP, HTTP for this service replica to handle client or user requests. Basically this function is just handling the client or user request, and this one is a main, and this function is for main entry point for a long running compute workloads. Okay, this is it. And a stateful one is exactly the same one. So stateful here is again you go to your uh, stateful service project and open the hello world stateful cs. It has the same function, create service replica listener and run asynchronous. So the difference is the stateful service has the same entry point as stateless service. The main difference is the availability of state provider that can store state reliably. Service fabric come with a state provider implementation called reliable collection, which let you create replica data structure through the reliable state manager. A stateful reliable service use this state provider by default. So like I say that when you create a stateful, so basically it's installed a couple of libraries called data collection, and which is used for uh, the object called label collection, which is used for storing your in memory storage. So we go to the we run through the this function for here in the stateful. Again, this is the main entry point for your service replica. This method execute with when this replica of your service become primary and has write status. Okay, let's examine this one. So run as in sequence operates similarly in a stateful and stateless service. However, in a stateful service, the platform perform additional work on your behalf before it execute. Run is asynchronous. This work can include ensuring that the reliable state manager and reliable collection and ready to use. So, so this is the main one. So here is the user reliable collection object to store some basic whatever the information you're going to save into the dictionary. So what is the ireliable dictionary? I'm going to give you a very quick description. Ireliable dictionary is a dictionary implementation that you can use to reliably store state in the service. With Service Fabric and reliable collection, you can store data directly in your service without the need for the external persistent storage. Reliable collection make your data highly available. Service Fabric accomplish this by creating and managing multiple replicas of your service for you. It also provide an API that abstract away the complexities of managing those replica and their state transitions. So that's like I said that like I explained like this one you can store your some data in memory without using any external storage like SQL server or maybe the caching or anything. So you can, and the good thing is using this one, it will, the data will be share across your different machine. Like if this service is deployed on multiple nodes, so this the same data will be reliably available and sharing all the nodes. So this is the basically uh, your basic service you created, the first Microservice application. And you can see I didn't write any single line of code because it's produced the Visual Studio and Service Fabric SDK for you. So let's run it now. So when you click start or F5, it will going to build your whole project. Yes. And deploy your application on the Service Fabric cluster on the node 1. It will take some time because it's deploying your service on the cluster. Bear with me. And at the same time, I'm going to show you Service Fabric Cluster Manager. So you can basically manage your local cluster. Now remember, like basically cluster is the group of computer, and it has the nodes which is also known as physical machine and virtual machine. Like I said that in the next video I'm going to be explain more in detail. So once it's run, you can see it say that application is ready. The application URL is not set as HTTP, and now is ready. So you can see the fabric hello world stateful is ready, and stateless is ready. Now once it's ready, you can see it's working. So this one coming from here, like it say that run in synchronous. If you create a debug, so because I'm not run on the debug, basically it's come here. Yes, so it's come here. So it's just incrementing every step is long running process. So you can see that it will incrementing, and stateful one as well, because stateful is knowing and remembering the state or data we are storing in the reliable collection. So this one coming, if you see this one current counter value is coming from current counter value, and is storing in the your reliable collection dictionary. And this one, oh, stop here because I just debug it. So mode, okay. And this one working 52 is coming from stateless one, so it's coming from here. Stateless working 59 is keep incrementing and running. Okay, now let me go and see the manage local cluster. So you can see here you have application hello world type. This is your application, yes, as Microsoft application, and have the two services under your application. One is hello world stateless and hello world stateful. So if you click here, so you can see then and the name of your services, the version, the service kind like stateful and stateless, is the health of both services is good, and both are deployed on node 0. So because like I explained you, I set up my cluster on just one node, but you can set up on 5 nodes, so your services will be distributed on multiple nodes. So this is the that's all. Like I said, so we're going to move on to the next uh, step will be to introduce more service fabric. So stay tuned, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.